Alright, so with respect to perpendicular, parallel and intersecting lines, let's do some practice questions. Let's see what kind of questions you might get, right? So, a line passes through the points -2 and 5, 5 and 3. Write down the equation of the line. So this one is easy, right? I'll solve the whole question step by step. So -2 and 5, 5 and 3. So we have point A, point B. We have to write down the equation of the line. So this may be a line, any kind of a line, this line or anything. And then you have to write down the equation of this line, right? So how do we do that? Let's first things first. Let's find out the gradient or m. Gradient being y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So m now is y2 is 3, y1 is 5, x2 is 5 and x1 is -2. So negative gives you positive. It becomes +2. So m over here will be 3 minus 5 gives you -2 and 5 plus 2 gives you 7. So -2 over 7 will be your gradient for L1, for equation 1 or line 1, right? So now we'll write y equals to mx plus c. Let's try to find out our c over here. So we'll take any point. I'll choose this point. So instead of y, I will write 3. Instead of m, I will write -2 over 7. Instead of x, I will write 5 plus c. So I will continue this over here. I have less space over there. So 3 equals to -10 over 7 plus c. 3 plus 10 over 7 equals to c. 10 over 7 goes to the other side. Minus becomes plus. So 721 plus 10 equals to c. 31 over 7 equals to c. 31 over 7 gives me 4.45, let's suppose 4.45 equals to c. Let me find this out as well. 31 divided by 7 is 4.42, so it's almost the same thing, right? So 4.45, I'll keep it as c. So my equation of the line for L1 is y equals to -2 over 7x plus 4.45. This is my equation of the line L1, right? So this one was simple. We had already done this. Now let's see what the other part of the question is. I will keep the equation of the line and other things I will erase from here just so that I can have a bit of space. I will also keep the gradient over here because gradient is a bit important. Now let's see what the question is asking. Another line L2 is perpendicular to L1. L2 is perpendicular to L1. So for example, if this is your line, this is x-axis, this is your y-axis, and this is your line. Your line y equals to -2 over 7x plus 4.45. Downward sloping curve, the gradient is negative, so it is a downward sloping curve. We already know this. This is fairly simple, right? Now, there is one more line which is perpendicular. So this is a 90 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. It is perpendicular to this line. So this is L1 and this is L2. So now let's see what will we do with this. First things first, we'll use the formula m1 times m2 equals to -1. m1 we're given as -2 over 7 times m2 we're not given equals to -1. Both of them are multiplying each other, so I can send 7 upstairs. So when I send 7 upstairs, it becomes negative 7, and when m equals to negative 7 over negative 2, minus minus cancels out, becomes plus. So m equals to 7 over 2 will be my gradient, or my second gradient for the perpendicular line, right? So the second gradient, or the perpendicular gradient that we found out, was 7 over 2. All you got to do is now write the equation again. So L2, let's suppose L2 is y equals to mx plus c. Instead of y, we will write 5 equals to, instead of m, we will write 7 over 2, which is the new gradient, or the perpendicular gradient. And then x we will write as negative 2 plus c. So when we do this, we get 2 cancels by 2, you get negative 1 equals to negative 7 plus c. Negative 7 goes to the other side, becomes plus, so 5 plus 7 gives you 12 equals to c. So your equation for L2 will be y equals to mx plus 12. This will be your answer for the perpendicular equation, or the perpendicular line, right? So this is basically how you solve a perpendicular question. Obviously we'll have more questions for practice as well. So after we are done with that, after we're done with all these explanations and everything, we'll be doing the practice questions as well, right? If you have any questions, you can always comment to us below. Alright, so now let's try. Alright, so now let's try a parallel line question, right? So first things first, part A is pretty simple. You have 2 points given to you. You have to find the equation of L1. So let's do that really quickly so that we can go on about it. First things first, m you need to find out. So m equals to y2 minus y1. So 9 is y2, 7 is y1. Over x2 is minus 4 and y1 is minus 3. So the answer that you're getting is 2 over negative 7. 2 over negative 7 is your gradient now, right? So when you have 2 over negative 7, it basically becomes negative 2 over 7. This is your gradient. By looking at the gradient, we can already tell that this is a downward sloping curve, correct? So because it is a negative gradient, so it is a downward sloping curve. Alright, so now y equals to mx plus c. We will take any of these points. I'll take this point. So 7 equals to negative 2, 7, x is 3 plus c. So this becomes 7 equals to negative 6 over 7 plus c. Negative 6 over 7 goes to the other side, becomes positive. Let me do it over here. So 7 plus 6 over 7 equals to c. Let's calculate how much is that. 6 divided by 7 plus 7 gives me 7.85. So 7.85 equals to c. So equation of my line for L1 is y equals to negative 2 over 7x plus 7.85. Okay, so this is my equation for L1. Now we need equation for L2. So I'll continue over here only. So for L2, what you require to do is you need to take the same gradient, m equals to negative 2 over 7. The gradient would be the same as they are parallel lines. The point over here will change. So instead of, so it will be y equals to mx plus c. Instead of y, we will put negative 1 over here. Equals to negative 2 over 7, which is the gradient m. Instead of x, we'll write negative 6 plus c we need to find out. Negative 1 equals to positive 12 over 7 plus c. When this positive 12 over 7 goes to the other side, it becomes negative. So let's find this out, what has happened. 12 over 7 is how much? 2.42. So minus 1 minus 2.42 equals to C, minus 3.42 equals to C. So my equation of the line for L2 is y equals to mx plus, so it is negative, so we'll write a negative number, 3.42. And this is my equation for L2. This is how we solve our questions for parallel and perpendicular lines. We'll look into the intersecting lines in the next video, so stay tuned. So we will be also doing some of the shape questions. So and if you have any questions about these particular questions, do let me know, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.